I'm Lenora, your host for 3Ps in a Pod. Today, I think this is going to be a short episode, talking a bit about how to start right when you start a new job. I work with a lot of interns, or have worked with many interns, new employees, and I've had a number of jobs myself over the years, so I thought I'd toss out some tips for how to start off right. And I got a couple of ideas from others as well. And then we're going to have some good interviews coming up, sharing more about this from some perspectives of others who've been very successful in their careers. So, again, here's just some tips about making a good impression, starting off right on a new job. One, it is normal, very normal, to be nervous for a new job. It's normal also to wonder, do I belong? Do I fit here? But I can tell you, your own mindset, how you decide to think about that job is going to make a big difference. So, it's always smart. Of course, you've probably already done this if you've gotten the job. You've done some research on their website, found out a bit about the company, but definitely put on curiosity. I think when you start a job, besides be friendly, show up early, build a reputation for being early to the job so that you're ready to go before you technically are supposed to start. So you want to show up early, have a smile on your face, look to be doing great work. And don't be afraid to ask lots of questions. So your goal is going to be excellent. Being successful is a lot of hard work. You have to be good at doing more than one thing right. I think sometimes you hear comments, because I'm also a mom who's raised kids and have been around friends and heard young people talk as well. And sometimes people assume that success is an accident. It's actually very much on purpose, doing multiple things right and working very hard and having some patience and putting time into things is really what can make success. So again, you want to have a good attitude when you walk in. Be early. Build a reputation. One thing about when you're working on a job, and whether it's a new position or new to the company, period, keep in mind you're always building your reputation. And if you think about, what is my current reputation? Am I known to be someone who's friendly? Am I known to be someone who works hard? Or am I known to kind of slack off and do as little as possible? You want to realize whatever you're doing, you're building a reputation. So you want to build a good one. So ask questions early on so that you can get a feel for the environment, a feel for what's kind of the early to-dos. Where do I put my stuff? Where is my lunch break type of thing? I mean, even those simple basics can be fine to ask about. If you have a good supervisor or a good team that's bringing you into your job, they'll cover all those things. But sometimes you don't have a great person help you on board or get into your job. So don't be afraid to ask questions, okay? Look for early wins. What does that mean? Look for things that you can do that are ways to find success quick. I don't mean even big successes. If you see garbage sitting around, be the one to pick it up. If you see something spilled, don't be afraid to offer to clean it up. I mean, simple things. I don't know where those examples really came from, but just if there's something simple you can do, be the one to step up and do it. Another thought is, for your mindset, decide that you belong there. It's going to take a while for you to feel like this new environment is normal to you, but how you approach it and your decision that you in fact belong here or belong there is going to be a key factor. Of course, we want affirmation from others that we belong, that they want us around, but our own mindset is honestly the most important part. And be friendly to your co-workers. People like people who like them. So if you're friendly, if you act like you like someone, they're most likely going to respond to like you as well. So that's a pretty easy one. People like people who like them. So be friendly. Be a note taker. I'm always impressed when I work with young people if they're taking notes. One intern in the past blew me away because I noticed she wasn't taking notes and I wasn't impressed with that. And I was suggesting to her to do that. She asked if she didn't have to, and I was fine with that as long as she could retain what we were training her. And she was amazing that way, but she was also very rare. So unless you're like her with this profound ability to remember everything, be a note taker. Reference those. Sometimes I would go back after I took my notes and type them up because it'd help me go over it again, and it would help me just put it neatly in a way that I could reference, maybe even read my own handwriting because I was now typing it. So for your supervisor, when I've worked with certain new employees or new temporary employees, the people who impressed me the most are those that were trying to, in a way, make my job easier. And that can sound, I don't know what that sounds like, but actually, a supervisor or manager is often very busy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot they have to accomplish to survive in their business or in their position. And if they can find team members that really get it, they see what the needs are, they're proactive to go after it and make their job easier. Oh my gosh, you never want to lose an employee like that. I still remember an intern I had. She was international and she was amazing. She just really seemed to understand the things that I was trying to communicate to her. And I don't mean language barrier. I mean the intent of what I was trying to communicate. She was great at giving me feedback. I think she explained what I wanted to do better than I did at that time. And she was always proactively solving problems. And I remember when she left, I thought, doggone it, I wish I could hire her. She was so helpful. She, in a short period of time, I believe it was 10 weeks, she was actually making my job easier. You see, when you bring someone into a company, you spend quite a bit of time training them, or other team members do. And it takes a while before that employee is really bringing a whole lot of benefit, usually, to the team. So when you are someone who starts bringing benefit really quickly, you're very diligent, proactive, active at trying to learn the job, help your team, and lighten the load for your supervisor. Wow, is that a win for the team? And if I could have hired her, she was part of a short-term program, so I just had her for a few weeks. But if I could have hired her, boy, I would have loved to. And I'm sure with that attitude, wherever she would go, she would have some very good success. And then here's some other good basics someone was giving me, is obviously be kind to others. Care about your team members. Ask questions. I know I would prefer everyone was always thinking about me and asking me questions about my life. I guess that sounds bad, but it's helpful if you will be good at asking questions. Learn how to make small talk, but obviously if you're working very hard, there's not always time for that. So it's knowing how to shift gears. Another thing is to just in general be kind to others. Be friendly. If you want friends, show yourself to be friendly. You can ask questions about other people and then just make a note to remember them. A good attitude is always required. Of course, on an interview, you would have had to show a good attitude, but a consistent good attitude is another win that make people want to keep someone around. So, general smile, having some patience also. Another thing is be consistent. Be encouraging for others. And look for opportunities to help your team. In general, on the job, you want to be trustworthy. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you have questions, go ahead and ask somebody, but otherwise make sure you fulfill the commitments that you've been given or that you've said that you will do. Another topic that came up multiple times when I was talking to several people was do more than what's expected of you. Do a little more. Don't just do the bare minimum, go the extra mile. Prepare yourself for new tasks. Do research. Look things up. Don't expect everyone to do the research for you. Do research on things. And then be grateful. Be thankful for others that help you. Appreciate them. Offer your help. Because in general, everyone is carrying a load of stress that they have to manage. So whenever we're helping each other manage that stress load by the simple ways of, again, whether it's that smile, whether it's being patient with each other, or being a team player, being kind, going the extra mile, all of those things are going to make people want to keep you around. Again, you're always building your reputation, and hard work is hard work, but it's one of the best things that will get you to where you want to go. I don't know anybody truly successful that doesn't work very hard. And we do want to work smart. We do want to become more efficient, find smarter ways of doing things. But somebody said a lot of people miss opportunity because it's dressed up like work. And finally, show respect for others. Show respect for your team members, your supervisor. What we sow into others, what we give, what we invest into others is often what we will receive back to ourselves. So there's just a few tips. Thanks for listening to 3 Peas in a Pod.